Sound like that, Ann.
It's time for a Big Blue Kickoff Live
Nobody can ever tell you that you couldn't do it because you did.
on Giants.com
You know what I saw? New York Giant Pride.
and the Giants mobile
Monday
app.
night doubleheader.
14 is the final. One touchdown, we are world champions. Believe it, and it will happen.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs.
Hello, everybody. A happy Monday to you. Haven't said that yet this year, and welcome to Big
There
Blue
you
Kickoff
go.
Live, presented by Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the Giants. I am John Schmeelk. He is Paul Dottino. We're taking your calls at 201-939-4513. How come, Paul, after a loss, we walk in here at 12:30, all three lines, Pearson, are lit up every single time? No one's calling! Well, get on the line. Giants defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that just sums up the New York sports fan mentality. When you're mad, you call. When you're happy, you stay quiet. Anyway, Giants defeat the Chargers 21-18. And I know we're going to get plenty of calls today. I'm just having fun with you guys.
Of course.
A big win for the Giants, Paul. And
Yeah.
should I start where people want me to start, or should I start where I want to start after rewatching the game?
No, I did it too. Let's start with Dart. You have to. That's what everybody wants to know about.
Okay.
Let's start with him.
Nice game by Jackson Dart. I am going to term Jackson Dart, and I kind of said this on the post game last night, and I let the idea ferment a little bit overnight, and I think it's really on the money. Mm-hmm. Jackson Dart was a playmaker yesterday. He did what he had to do. He made some loose plays. He ran with the football. He scrambled. He had some design runs. Mm-hmm. Made some nice plays. He was a playmaker that made plays when he had to, and a lot of that was running on third downs to convert some of those third downs in this game. He played a nice game. And a lot of the stuff we talked about pregame, where, the way the Chargers play their zones and rotate their coverages, he might have some trouble finding guys down the field. And you know what? That happened too. And that's okay. That's supposed to happen for rookie quarterbacks.
Sure
but
is.
he made the type of plays, and again, this is not a shot at the player, that because 10 years ago, he was the guy making these types of plays that Russell Wilson used to be able to make when he was a younger guy, in terms of scrambling around, running for extra yards,
Right.
Avoiding the rush, making a throw on the move, stepping up the pocket and making an accurate throw. And he made enough of those playmaker type of plays for the offense to score enough points and to end up winning the ball game.
I'll put another layer onto that.
Please.
And I will say, the fact is, he didn't make any stupid or negative plays.
That's a great point, Paul. Great point.
And, often you'll hear people talk about a high ceiling, and then other people will say, well, they have a high floor. Yesterday, Jackson Dart had a high floor. He didn't do anything that put the Giants in a swamp.
Well, he did take 5 sacks.
Okay, but better than throwing picks.
Sacks aren't good.
No,
But yes,
of course sacks
he
are not
did
good.
not turn it over. 100% right.
And that fumbled
know?
snap he fell on, which was good.
Yeah, well, Andrew Thomas
Andrew
fell
Thomas
on that
fell
one.
on that
yeah.
one, and Wilson fell on the one that got knocked out of his
Yeah,
hand.
I don't know if that was you can't see on the tape if it was Schmitz's fault or Dart's fault, but
Cannot see.
whatever the case might be.
Yeah, cannot see on the snap.
But Paul makes a great point. They did not turn the ball over in the game, which was huge.
And +2, right? Tom Coughlin's magic number, +2.
Plus 2, you win like 80% of the
That's
games.
it. And so, to me, I agree with you, John. Jackson Dart made some very important key plays in different facets of his skill set.
Yep.
Which is the one thing that you want to be really hopeful about, because you can't say the guy can do it until he does it. Well, Dart did it.
Well, here's the thing.
That's good.
The art of playing quarterback stuff is stuff that a rookie is going to struggle with. Largely, every rookie is going to struggle with that, especially earlier in their career, their first few games.
Sure.
Until you see more stuff, the game starts to slow down a little bit, and you can start reading out down the field, reading safeties, figuring out coverages, that sort of stuff. But he has that athleticism and creativity, and again, I'll go back to the word playmaking skills, that if and when he does figure out the art of playing quarterback stuff, that other stuff is what's going to raise the ceiling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that gets you excited if you're a Giants fan. You hope as he keeps working and does more of the stuff, he's going to figure out some of the other stuff where he's, and Bob said this during the game. 5 or 6 weeks from now, of those 5 sacks that he's took, he's probably not going to take 2 or 3 of them. Like, there were a couple of those plays, Paul, where they did the typical play action zone left, rolls to his right.
Yeah.
They leave the defensive end unblocked. He comes up, and 2 of those plays, The guy in the flat, I think it was Wando Robinson on one of them, and maybe Scadaboo on the other.
The one when Dart got tripped. They let the defensive end come in clean because Robinson floats out.
There were 2 plays like that, and the guy in the flat was wide open. And all Dart has to do is just go boop, and throw it down. But he's trying to look down the field, make a bigger play, holds the ball a little bit, takes a sack. Those are the type of plays where in a few weeks, as he plays more, those are going to disappear. He's going to figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
So you like the fact that he has that off-schedule playmaking ability that gets you excited.
Yeah,
So
I charged Tui Pelotu 2 of his sacks. I charged to Dart. The rest of them, I had 1.5 team sacks. I had Luminor with a sack and a half. I had Van Roten with 2 half sacks, which combined mathematically.
You aren't blaming
one.
Illuminor on the unblocked one, are you?
I gave Illuminor what is his name?
I believe it's. I looked it up. Hold on.
There you go.
I had it yesterday. Pass me the flip card, Pearson, to your left, please.
Wait.
Pass me the flip card straight ahead against the screen. Yeah, pass me the flip card, please. I think it's Ogboya.
Is that what he says?
It is Obonia.
Okay.
Sorry, Obonia, not Obonia.
Now there was a stunt on that. Okay, there was a stunt. And,
oh no, on that play, yes.
And a bull rush.
That I thought was on Illuminor. I was talking about the play where Dart got absolutely obliterated on in the first half when he did not see the pressure coming.
Correct.
And Illuminor had to block 2 guys, and he blocked the inside guy. I hope you didn't put that one on Illuminor because that's not his fault.
I gave Illuminor, I gave him a half because that was the split. The guy split Illuminor and Van Roten.
No, not that. I'm talking about the play
one?
where there was an unblocked rusher off the right side because Illuminor had 2 guys rushing in front of him, and he blocked the inside guy.
I called that a team sack.
That should be a team sack. I agree with you. I think that's correct. I'm with you on that. I just wanted to make sure you weren't blaming Illuminor.
No. I gave Illuminor a sack and a half.
Yes.
The gentleman that we can't pronounce, and then the other one.
It's not that Obonia.
Okay, Obonia?
Obonia.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Obonia on a stunt with a bull rush, and then the other fellow, Tui Apololo. I'm sorry.
It's Tuli Pelotu.
Tuli Pelotu.
I believe, yes.
Well, he split Van Roten and Illuminor.
Correct.
I had to give each of them half a sack.
And I think that was fair. And look, we said before the game, and I said this last week a million times too when talking about this game, you cannot count on Jackson Dart to be the savior in this game. And the Giants did a great job supporting their rookie quarterback.
Yes.
It was only about 3 yards per carry, but they ran and this is taking Dart's rushing yards out of it. The running backs ran for 107 yards on 32 carries. So it's only a little bit over 3 yards per carry.
But that's okay.
That's all right. You were in reasonable down and distances. There were not a lot of third and super longs in this game because that's when Dart's going to have trouble. And Scadaboo did a good job. And rewatching the game, Scadaboo has some. It's not even necessarily, Paul, the plays where he has these open field, broken tackles, he does all that stuff. He's constantly falling forward.
30 yards.
On a 2-yard run, he gets 4 yards. On a 3-yard run, he gets 4.5 yards. He just falls forward all the time. And it doesn't mean a lot on that one individual play, but it adds up over the course of the game.
Sure does.
So that kind of jumped out to me. And I want to give credit to the offensive line, too. They did a nice job. You mentioned where there were a few sacks here and there, sure. I thought Runyon probably played his best game of the season.
Yes.
Until the last drive when JMS had a guy lined up right over him. I thought he actually did really well in the run game until that final drive. Andrew Thomas was flawless. He played every snap. We weren't sure if he'd be able to do that this week. He did. He was great. And I thought the offensive line played easily their best game of the year, and it wasn't close.
Well,
it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't even close to not being their best.
All right, let's put it this way. And to hammer home your point, and this does not count the rushing plays. And remember, 2/3 of the Giants' snaps were rushing plays in this game.
Yeah.
2/3.
Yeah, what did Dart throw? 21 passes?
21 passes he threw. Now, there were some dropbacks where he had to scramble some. But 21 attempts, 42 rushes. Folks, game flow. The Giants had the lead from start to finish and had a 10-point lead early in this game, John. It changed everything in terms of game flow.
Oh, that was a great stat. The Giants
changed it all.
The Giants led, I think, for 43 minutes of the game. It's more than they led in the first 3 games combined.
See, I know people like to give that kind of lip service. Oh, you don't want to play from behind. You want to get off to a good start.
It matters.
And it
matters.
does.
It matters.
It does. Looking at this game on Friday, right, when Matt was here, we were talking about the game breakdown. It was clear the Giants were going to have to run the ball to create balance, keep the defense honest, keep them off stride. But the other thing that we're going to have to do, when we did this on the pregame, we talked about quick game. We talked about don't make Dart have to decipher the Chargers' coverages.
Right.
Get the ball out of his hands to the playmakers. Let them do the dirty work.
And it's funny, they didn't do a ton of that. It was mostly with the run game, but yeah,
right,
correct. But it worked.
They didn't have to.
Right.
They were able to avoid the quick game because they got functional running.
Correct. I mean, they 2 negative runs the whole game, I think?
Exactly,
No,
John.
it was helpful. Okay. So that's anything else when you hit on the offense? I think we hit everything, right?
No, the only other thing that I do want to add, we did talk about this also in the pregame. Jackson Dart does need to slide feet first. He did it again yesterday. Dable keeps telling him. Kiffin told him at Ole Miss. You heard it from Kiffin himself. I heard it from the Ole Miss people. I don't mind that he's got to do some of this scrambling. It bothers me a little. I get nervous. I get upset. But you know what? He's going to make me feel a lot better if he goes feet first.
Let me just add something to that. Because A, you're right. B, and if you're not going to slide, can you not try to punch or slap or violently stiff arm, however you want to term the play, your throwing hand into the helmet of an opponent defensive back, please? Can we not do that? I know it's exciting. It gets everyone pumped up. What if you miss the helmet and your finger gets stuck in the face mask and you dislocate your finger, break your finger? You're quarterback. It's your right hand. Let's use our noodle a little bit here. Will you please? I'll leave it at that.
He wants to run like a running back.
Yes.
There are moments where he thinks he's Scatterbo.
And by the way, he looked like Scatterbo on that one.
I know.
On the third and two.
He bounced and then had a twirl
which
and
again,
fall
there was an
forward.
offsides on the play. He even have to end up doing that. But
I
yeah,
know.
he broke like 3 tackles on the play. And look, it's great. The athleticism's awesome, but let's stay healthy. He already has a hamstring now, so let's keep him healthy a little bit here. Okay. All right. That's the offense, and this is what I wanted to lead with, so I'll lead with this instead.
Yes.
The defense won this game.
Yep.
They were phenomenal.
They stepped up.
And not only because they only allowed the Chargers to score 18 points, you can take 10 of those points that the Giants scored and hand them to the defense. The Giants defense gave the Giants the ball on the Chargers' 3-yard line twice in this game. Mm-hmm. All right? The Giants probably would have scored a touchdown on the first one if it wasn't for the false start by Van Roten on 1st and goal at the 3, which backed them up to the 8. You still got to score anyway. It's
Still
not an
gotta
excuse.
score.
Correct. But
Which is not always easy.
especially not for this Giants team. But the defense handed the Giants 10 points
They did.
on a silver platter.
They did.
2 takeaways. First time all year they were positive in the plus-minus territory, plus 2 to your point, and 2 positives where you put the ball inside the other team's 5-yard line. So give them credit for that. And I talked about, Paul, and we talked about this after the Cowboys game, how we didn't think in situations where the Cowboys had to pass the ball, the Giants' pass rush was fine, but it did not take over the game.
Right.
Giants pass rush took over this game in passing situations in this game.
Yeah.
Even on the drive where Herbert ended up at the end of the first half hitting Johnson on the deep pass, and we'll talk about that too, they were pressuring him like crazy on that drive. He just happened to complete that one. And then on the final drive of the game, Giants, who ran a ton of twists and stunts in this game. A ton. Jamari Salyer was so concerned with Dexter Lawrence, which, by the way, can't blame you. Burns, they run a TE twist, which is Dexter Lawrence going inside, Burns swooping around him on the right side of the offensive line, left side of the defensive line. Jamari Salyer is so worried about blocking Dexter Lawrence, he doesn't see Burns looping around, gets a free run to the quarterback, and Bob Pava made this good point to me. Burns doesn't miss those types of sacks. When Brian Burns gets around a quarterback, he does not miss them. So that pretty much ended the game. The Chargers had another possession, but
it was clutch.
It was as clutch of a sack as you can have. And the Giants,
16-yard loss.
And this is why sacks is a misleading stat. The Giants had 2 sacks in this game.
20 pressures.
They were all over Justin Herbert.
12 quarterback hits.
And there were multiple plays. And I'll want to talk about 2 plays here in the fourth quarter. And one is that Burns play. Already mentioned it briefly. When you guys, and I'm not sure if they showed this on the All-22. I'll show this on the TV copy. But if you see it on the All-22, you'll see it. Ladd McConkey's running a crossing pattern on that play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an illegal pick. He just happened to run into Deonte Banks on the play. Quentin Johnston is, when I say wide open,
Yeah.
I mean no one's within 20 yards of him.
That's true.
Running a deep over route across the field. Herbert knows he's there. That's why Herbert slammed the ball in that play.
Oh, there's no doubt.
He knew he was open, and all
There's
he
no
needed,
doubt.
if he could have scrambled and bought himself another second and a half, that ball's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's if not a touchdown, it's going inside the 10-yard line. Because Javon Holland's in a bad trail position as the deep safety on the opposite side of the field.
I agree.
So that saved that play from being a potential touchdown, the pass rush. And then I think it was the previous possession, also in the fourth quarter. And I'll give the Giants pass rush credit for this. Maybe I'm being a little bit generous.
Well, before you go there,
Yeah,
can I
please,
can
go.
I just mention one thing?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Burns had the quarterback pressure on the interception that was picked off by Drew Phillips.
That's true, he did.
So
Now,
there's
Giants fortunate that Lau McConkey falls down on that play.
understood.
But yes, he does. Correct.
But
No,
that
you're
was
right.
Burns impacting the play.
That's 100% correct. You're right. And the other play I want to talk about, there was a deep post. It was actually very similar to the deep post that Justin Herbert connected on when the Giants played at the Chargers 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where Herbert has to roll a little bit to his right because of pressure. And I'm trying to find the... I'm trying to find the
What was
one
the
here.
minute mark, roughly?
I can't find the play on my sheet here. But it was a deep post over the middle to Quentin Johnston, and he won on the route. He beats Paulson Adebo, and Javon Holland takes a bad angle on the play. Maybe that wasn't his responsibility. I don't know. But Johnston's running on a deep post across the middle of the field, and Herbert overthrows him by a little bit.
Yes.
But before he overthrows him, pass pressure on that play forced him to roll a little bit to his right. So maybe if that pass rush doesn't force him off his spot in the middle of the pocket, that could be completed for a deep pass. So again, I will tip my cap a little bit to the Giants' defensive front on that play because that probably saved another touchdown. It was late pressure by Fowles on that play. It was a 2nd and 10. Deontay Banks also got called for a defensive holding penalty on that play.
Okay.
And Fowles, Okereke, and Carter was kind of in the mix too, forced Herbert to roll a little bit to his right. It's at the 4:35 mark in the fourth quarter. Paul.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the first half.
4:35 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, go ahead.
And Herbert has Johnston on a deep post, and he just overthrows him a little bit. But again, he had to move off his spot because of the pass rush. And Giants very fortunate again that they were able to do that. But that's why you have a pass rush, to make sure the quarterback can't just sit back there and survey the field.
Now, to be fair to the Chargers, right? We knew all year that Slater was not going to be available at left tackle, so they move Alt over to left tackle. And then Alt gets hurts his ankle early in the game.
Yeah.
So now the Chargers are forced to kind of do a makeshift situation on the fly.
And they're also missing Mekhi Becton, their starting right
and
guard.
Mekhi Becton goes into the game with a concussion.
Right.
He can't play. So to be fair,
And Bradley Bozeman was questionable and banged up with the back. So they were a mess on the line.
the Giants stepped up. The defense played up to its football card yesterday. I would agree with that. This is kind of what I wanted to see from them from the get-go, but it took them a few weeks. We knew it would. But to be fair, this was not the Chargers at full strength. This was the Chargers' C game,
Paul,
perhaps.
before you can start, and I've said this before you can start dominating good opponents, you got to dominate the bad opponents.
Or the
and-
ones that are gimpy.
How many times have the Giants gone against opponents where we point out an explicit weakness heading into the game and they're unable to take advantage of it?
I won't disagree with you.
Happens all the time.
In
So
reason- yeah.
your caveats are absolutely correct. Don't disagree with them at all. But it's a good first step. On a line that they should have had a lot of
No
success
question.
against, they had a lot of success against them.
And by the way, Abdul Carter, 9 pressures, 5 quarterback hits. Whoa.
And again, they used them a lot of twist and stunts. He had that one win outside where he just went right around the backup left tackle. Unbelievable speed and dip move.
That's what we saw at training camp,
That's
like every day.
and at Penn State for that
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
But look, I just want to tip my cap to the defense. I think they carried that team. The Giants only had 250 yards of offense. It was
Yeah.
not a lot of offense. So
Well-
tip the cap to the defense. I think they really helped carry the Giants to victory. In that
Back
game.
to the point about game flow and the ability to then change the game plan to strictly grind it out. You said it, John. The 2 Giants interceptions gave the offense a short field.
Yep.
So those are 2 drives that were kind of eliminated from the Giants' ledger. Because if you're starting at the other team's 3-yard line, you can't even put together a 50-yard drop.
No, that's a good point. It's a good point.
So to be fair, everything about the game flow had to do with how the Giants had to adopt their game plan, say, you know what, we're not going to have to throw it very much. Forget about the quick throws and the game plan that we were going to do about trying to make sure that Dart didn't have to go through a bunch of different reads and progressions. No, we don't need to do that. We got an early lead, 10-0. We got great field position, and we're just pounding the ball. And by the way, did you notice this at the end of the game, John? Until I was reviewing the film this morning, I didn't notice this. 7 of 15 on third downs.
A lot of that was the Dart running stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and by the way, he also had a couple of plays where he stepped up in the pocket and completed passes over the middle, too, including that last big one to Theo Johnson.
Huge.
Over the middle.
Huge.
Wide open. I don't know what Dan Henley was doing on the play, but he was wide open. Easy throw, but good job by Dart making it.
And again, I'm not one who likes to see my QB run a whole lot. I'm not going to change my spots on that. But it definitely helped the Giants yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now we'll see what he's even. And Brian Dable mentioned about 4 times in his press conference yesterday that Dart's going to be sore this week. So we'll see how much they can. And remember, the second half of that game, we really didn't see them use him in the zone read option, run game at all. So we'll see if that can even be a weapon next week when they take on the Saints.
How about Scatterbo? 25 carries.
Yeah, again.
He had 23 carries combined in the first 3 games.
And I'm sure he
had 25 yesterday.
I'm sure he loves that.
Oh,
we got to be careful with him staying healthy too now.
I personally am going to ship over about 25,000 bags of ice to his apartment.
That's a lot of ice. He probably can't fit all that ice in his apartment.
I think he needs it.
All right. I saved this for last because it should be a joyous day for Giant fans. They should be very happy.
Yeah.
But Giant fans sometimes can't have nice things. And it's been the theme too much over the last 12 seasons. Where even on a day where you have a great win, Jackson Dart era starts with a victory, all these exciting things happen, your pass rush wakes up, you lose the guy that might be the best player on your whole team, certainly the best player on your offense, to, by what all reports are indicating, is a season-ending knee injury. And it's impossible for me, Paul, to oversell how important Malik Neighbors is to this offense. He's their best playmaker. He's the one guy that teams circle with the red Sharpie before every game that you have to stop. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that can, turn a 10-yard slant into an 80-yard touchdown. And it stinks because now you're also going to be hampered in your ability to evaluate Jackson Dart the rest of the year because Neighbors isn't out there. So it stinks. It sucks. It did take some really good feelings away from the game for me personally. I'm sure it did for you too. But it is what it is, and the Giants have to figure out how to do it moving forward now. And now other guys are going to have an opportunity like Jalen Hyatt, like Bo Collins, to step up and take advantage of their shot.
The Giants can go more than a couple of different ways. They got a lot of ways they could actually go here, but I don't know which one is going to turn out to be the best. They could stick with what they have, and of course Hyatt, being the speed burner, is probably the guy best suited to try to take over that aspect of the offense.
That aspect, yes, but that's not Neighbors' role in the offense,
No, it's not.
Right.
Now, none of these things are a perfect fit. One thing they could do, and I don't think I like this very much, you could play Robinson more on the outside like they've started to do this year. I don't want to do that because he's such a good slot guy.
We did see Hyde in the slot a little bit in the second half of the game.
And that's one of the options. Hyatt becomes the slot guy for most plays, and Robinson becomes the outside guy because they've tried to use him more out there.
And you could rotate him a little bit, too.
You could do it.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it. I don't know that that's a great solution because Wandale has been banged up in his early career, and the more you put him outside against bigger corners, he could get pounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's one potential. Another potential is you put Slayton out as the X. All right.
I think he goes to the X either way. I mean, I think that's in conjunction. Even if you do,
there's no doubt.
Robinson outside and Hyde in the slot, Slayton has to go to that X spot.
But to finish what I was thinking about here, you could go him to the X. You could go Bo Collins to the other boundary.
I mean, Bo Collins is big. He could play the X too if you wanted to.
I don't know if he's got enough speed to do it.
I don't know.
I don't.
Size-wise, he
does.
He certainly is more of an X than Slayton is.
I look at him as more of a possession guy. although he did catch the long bomb from Wilson in the preseason. These are the kinds of things I'm toying with.
No, it's good questions.
Okay,
good questions.
Because with his frame and his catch radius, he could be the possession guy, and then you keep Robinson in the slot. You put Slayton as the X, and you got Collins on the outside. You could go. That would be another possibility. As I've already gotten some phone calls this morning, you always could look outside the building. But the danger there is, number one, the Giants don't have a lot of salary cap room.
Guys that are free agents now are free agents for a reason.
Yes, they are. And unless you are extremely confident. Now, maybe if there's a guy or two out there that they want to work out.
That I was about to say.
I'd be okay with that.
Especially these older guys. You want to bring them in for a workout, see if they can still run? Fine. I'm
Put
okay
a
with that.
GPS on them and let them see how they do.
Right.
Okay?
I'm with you on that.
But here's the thing. You don't have a lot of cap room. I don't think any of these guys are going to command much money, but you still don't have a lot of cap room. And what you have to figure out is any of these guys coming in off the street going to be appreciably better than anybody you have in the building? Even you have little Jordan Humphrey in the practice squad.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
That's a good point.
Are they appreciably better than him? Probably not.
Well, I think everything you said makes sense.
So none of these are clean answers. None of these are great answers.
Well,
Malik Neighbors is a Pro Bowl player.
no, there's no replacing Malik Neighbors.
No. Anyway, I just throw that out there for you folks because there's a lot of possibilities.
And look, tomorrow, guys, you're going to have Lance and Howard on. So if you want to get more into this, that's fine. I'd like to talk more about the game today, coming off the win if you can. Tomorrow we could do the Neighbors stuff. But if you want to talk about Neighbors too, that's fine. We can also do that. 201-939-4513, 201-939-4513. The Giants Foundation will host a 5K racing kids run presented by Quest on Sunday, October 26th at 9 a.m. at MetLife Stadium. Net proceeds will benefit the Giants Foundation. Participants will receive a commemorative T-shirt. After the race, post-race festival, Giants Legends live DJ. Giants.com/5K to register. The Giants Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. And guys, Giants Huddle Podcast, the rapid reaction from yesterday is up. Who's it this week? Pearson, we got Madeline O'Hara, Madeline Cross. Who do we got? Madeline Cross this week. So go check that out, on the Giants Huddle Podcast. And I'll be recording with Brian Baldinger at 2 o'clock today. So that'll be going up later on this afternoon as well for our Baldy breakdown of the week on the Giants Huddle. Go check that out. All right, 201-939-4513. 201-939-4513. Let's go to the phones and lead it off with Greg in Atlanta. Greg, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, John and Paul?
What's up, Greg?
Not much, man. Just calling in. I haven't called in a while. Been anxious to call, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But very happy with the win. I had a lot of people on top of the Giants and talking bad about the Giants in the first 3 games. But the only thing I've been telling them is, like the first game, the defense played all right against the Commanders. Offense didn't show up. Second game, offense showed up, let Dallas put up 40. Defense didn't show up. Third game, back to one of them, we played, whoever we played, one side of the ball didn't show up. Yesterday to me just was the first game, and I told everybody to be patient. When the Giants can put together a complimentary game, we'll win. And that's what I saw yesterday with the offense. And even though the offense wasn't prolific, it was functionable, and the offense and the defense complemented each other very well, and that's what I wanted to see. And I really think, now this is just my perspective, and I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash on this, but I really think that players respond to different players. And I think I just was optimistic about yesterday because I felt like us inserting Dart would make the players respond, and I think that's what I saw yesterday. And I just wanted to say that, happy to see the players playing for each other. That's what it looked like yesterday. It looked competitive, and that's what I want to see going forward. Win or loss, that's starting to turn the corner of changing the culture and playing for each other, which I haven't seen that in a while. So I'll take your responses to that off air. I'm just very happy, man.
Nah, appreciate the call, man. Good stuff.
Yeah. I think the one thing that we talked about on the pregame yesterday is that Jackson Dart is very well liked in this locker room. And so when a change is made, it's a lot easier for all the guys to buy into the change if they like the guy.
Right, and the way he plays does generate excitement.
No question. And he's also, as we talked about with Tiki Barber, he's also a very willing learner. He's not as confident as he is. he wants to take direction.
Yeah, like
he wants instruction.
I mentioned on the Giants huddle with Darius Slayton that went up last week. If you guys haven't watched it, you should. Where Darius said, "Look, I'm ready to go to bed one night, and Jackson's calling me to like go over a play on the iPad." I'm like, "Dude, I'm going to bed." So Jackson was certainly, hitting the video late at night last week, trying to get ready for this game. And on that final 3rd and 5 play to Theo Johnson, that's one of those plays where Theo and Dart had spoken about it.
Yes.
And they said, look, they show that type of coverage, which was, I believe that was cover 2 on that play by the Chargers. Don't run across, sit down instead.
Stop.
They ran the play, and they completed the pass for the first down.
How many times we see Dallas run that with Jason Witten? And by the way, on Friday, we have a 45-minute locker room period after practice during the course of the week. And I don't know if you noticed this, but Dart's locker happens to be like by the back entrance that goes to the equipment room, and it's one of the entrances that leads out of the locker room. Well, Dart had a little bag of something, I guess, to eat, like a little piece of a sandwich or something that he was going to wind up taking on the road to go eat after he was done. And Slate was about to walk out. And it's interesting you mentioned what you just said, because I'm standing there and Slate walks out and Dart catches him right at the doorway. And he starts chatting him up against something that they saw at practice. And he was like, this and that. And I'm not going to get into details because that's not appropriate. But he was talking to him about certain plays.
Sure.
And why did you stop on that route? Why did you and I mean, his mind is not stopping. Jackson Dart's mind is on the game 24/7. I cannot tell you how impressed I am. Eli was the same way.
Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to figure everything out and he's going to be great.
No, it doesn't, but it shows his effort.
But it's necessary for that to happen, right?
Sure.
It's not guaranteed that it's going to happen, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen because of that.
And credit to Slayton, by the way, for being a pro's pro, as he's always been since he's been here, the kind of guy that Dart can go to.
I would hope if your quarterback comes up to you and wants to go over a play, he's like, I'm not going to do that.
I'm sorry to say, I've known some receivers who probably wouldn't.
Well, not ideal. 201-939-4513. Let's go to Lucas in New Jersey next, Pearson. Lucas, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing today?
We're good. What do you got?
Nothing. Just wanted to talk about the energy at MetLife. Yesterday was incredible. I haven't seen a fourth quarter with that packed with excitement. The stadium was packed even with the final minute. But who do you think they should kind of, if anyone, get as a wide receiver, as like maybe someone to supplement, or do you think we have enough talent on board?
Paul, do you have the free agent wide receiver list?
Yeah,
I know you had it before.
I do, but I'm going to throw something else at you. How do you feel about Oshevsky, who had a really good camp?
He's a slot guy.
Right.
He's duplicative with. I don't think you can have him and Robinson on the field at the same time.
Well, here's the problem. I was going to say, if you want to throw Oshevsky out there, I think he's got to go slot. That means Robinson's got to play outside on the boundary.
I agree with that.
Which is another one of the permutations as you start fussing with the Rubik's Cube, right?
I think we're going to see a lot of little Jordan Humphrey, to be honest with you.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And Bo Collins. I know people are excited about Jalen Hyatt, and I think he will get an opportunity.
He's got to.
I think people are going to be surprised by how much Bo Collins ends up playing after this injury. Again, no one's told me anything. I have not talked to a soul. That is simply my gut feeling. The fact that they kept him on the 53 to start the year tells me they have confidence in him. If they didn't have confidence in him to play right away, they would have just put him onto the practice
Although
squad.
his special teams prowess did help.
Sure, it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But they've even made sure to get him some snaps in these games.
I know.
They've got him on the field a little bit. So
I know.
I think this could be an opportunity for Bo Collins.
I will give you some veteran free agent names, but I want to preface this by saying we are not advocating, nor do we have any information that these people are of any interest.
There just happen to be guys that are available.
That's correct. Veterans who are on the street. Deontay Johnson.
No, and by the way, his off-field stuff, forget that.
Exactly.
And locker room stuff.
But we will not give you any analysis on this. These are just names who are available. Odell Beckham, Robert Woods, Nelson Aguilar, Tyler Boyd, Michael Gallup, DJ Chark, Zach Pascal, KJ Osborne. That's probably about enough. All of those guys have played in the league before and are currently veteran free agents. Okay? But we have nothing else to add.
That's really good. I will say this to your point about Olszewski. I think he can be dynamic. We can definitely find some plays to make use of his escapability that he brings.
Sure.
And then Paulie D, I was talking to someone in the stands about you. Who do you think is Little Jordan Humphrey that body type that you like? Is he is that a misnomer? Is he actually a big guy?
No, he is. He is a big guy.
Thank you, Lucas.
He's one of those types of players.
Yeah, he's 6'2.5", 225.
He's got enough size.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You can be 6'2", 6'2.5", and still qualify as a skyscraper if you've got the long wingspan. Because being a skyscraper, that really is an adjective you give to a guy who's got a large catch radius, who has a big box you can throw it to. So you might be an inch or two shorter, but if you have an inch or two longer arms, you don't have to be 6'4". You know what I'm saying? I know you know where I'm going with that.
Sorry, 6'4", 225.
And he is 6'4".
6'4",
Okay.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's about your wingspan, your catch radius, your catch box. That's what makes a guy a skyscraper. A guy who's 5'9", there's no way he's going to have the kind of catch box that will ever quantify as a skyscraper.
No, absolutely not.
You know what I mean? That's the point. So, yeah, you got to at least be at least 6'2", 6'2.5", and then have a long wingspan.
Wow, he actually measured 6'4" at the combine, too. So that's not
legit.
So that isn't like a fake elevated 6'4".
Now, he's not of the elusiveness or of the speed
Correct.
that a Neighbors is.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're going to go there, it's a different style of receiver.
Correct. Absolutely right. 201-939-4513. Coach Marvin's in Delaware. Hi, Coach. Coach?
How you doing?
Hey, Coach, we have a lot of people on the line, so if you have a major point, I want you to get to that first, okay?
Okay. The major point is the discipline part. I'd like to see them do better. They got down inside the 5, and the discipline happened again, a penalty right away.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I talked about that last Friday, that we got to get that straight. Even if you have to remind them when they're in the huddle, hey, we're in the red zone, no penalties.
8 penalties for 43 yards overall this week.
Right. And real quick, Bo Collins is my pick. I think that's the guy you're going to have to give a shot to. I would skip over anybody else they have. I go right to Bo Collins.
One point, Coach. If you take Bo Collins, remember now, that would be the pick then over Little Jordan Humphrey, who he'd have to bring up from practice squad. And both of those are similar type guys. Although I think
Collins, you can call up Little Jordan Humphrey and still play Bo Collins.
Well, you could, but that would require a move that you may not want to waste.
No, Bo Collins is on the active roster.
Right. But Humphrey's not.
Yeah, but Malik Neighbors is going to go on injured reserve. You got an open roster spot.
Right.
You might need for the kicker.
No, you might.
You don't know.
And again, you can elevate.
And you may need one.
What you can do too, if you're not sure yet, if Bo Collins can step up and do it, you just elevate him a couple weeks. You play Bo Collins, and if you can't do it, then you can do the permanent elevation for Little Jordan Humphrey if you want to.
Yeah. We don't know what the Giants' long-term plan is for kicker, by the way, because as you know, McAtamney came up yesterday as a practice squad elevation.
Yeah.
And Gano's on IR. We don't know how long that's going to be.
Correct.
My last thing real quick, I'm going to hang up here since I don't have the time. John Runyon's wife, uncle, I ended up meeting at a high school game. Bill Schultz is Victoria's uncle, so it was impressive to meet him. And that is his niece. So I just wanted to throw that out.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Good stuff. And you're right. Look, you do have to play clean football. That false start, and I mentioned in the open, you get a 1st and goal at the 3, and the first player false starting. And then the other play that bothered me, we didn't talk about it. And look, I get it. You're emotional, all that stuff. There was like a 15-minute stoppage in play after the Malik Neighbors injury. You cannot have a delay of game penalty after that long stoppage.
No.
It turned a 3rd and 5 into a 3rd and 10, if I remember correctly. Can't have that.
Do I dare add a third item?
Of course.
Abdul Carter jumping off sides on 4th down when we all knew the Chargers were going to try to draw somebody.
Do you think they're going to run a play on that?
I don't.
I'm not sure. I'm kind of 50-50 on it.
I think they were looking to get somebody to bite, and he bit. And I talked to Abdul after the game, and he right away he's like, "That's on me. I knew it. I did it. Got to be more disciplined on it." But I said to him, when you make a mistake like that, does it focus you all the more during the rest of the game? And he's like, absolutely, because he felt like he had done a bad mistake, and he wanted to make up for it. So he increased his intensity the rest of the game.
201-939-4513. Len in Columbia, Maryland. Len, what's going on?
Hey, nice win.
Nice win, Len.
Yeah, definitely a nice win. But you just can't look past. I got to start with the Neighbors thing. Just terrible. I don't know what else to say. It's
There's nothing else to say, Len. It's terrible.
The kid's a great player, and to have that happen, it's going to affect us the rest of the year. I know we're throwing names around. My biggest, I think, the criteria that I would look for in trying to get somebody else on the roster or get them more plays is whoever knows the playbook the most, whoever knows it best. We can't have any wrong patterns. I'm not sure right now, as much as I like Bo Collins, Notre Dame guy, I'm not sure that's the guy. I would look at that Mississippi kid, Wells. I think we got him on the practice squad.
No,
Len, he's not here. Len, he's not here.
He didn't make it. He didn't make it.
He's not on the practice squad.
Oh, he's not on the practice squad.
And quite honestly,
okay.
Len, he had some flashes early, but then as camp went on, he did not merit that type of consideration.
Okay. All right. John, you used the word early in the discussion that I want to kind of jump on, and that is clutch. Man, there's nothing like your best players making plays in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Or the last 4 minutes, that burn sack. That's where you want them to come through. I know it's nice in the first quarter, but, man, when you're protecting a lead and you make a play like that, that is just... That's just clutch.
Fourth quarter pass rush line, it makes all the difference.
That's really what you want. That was a great player, a great play by Burns. I don't care whether there were breakdowns or not. Listen, he had a line on Herbert. They stayed with it, and he got him on the ground.
No, 100%.
He could throw the ball.
No, it doesn't matter. Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful play.
All right, last point, Len.
Yeah, okay. Real quick. Third down conversions. I think you gave the numbers. I don't know what they were on the defensive side. But to me,
no, it was good.
You want to build a
4
narrative.
for 12 or
There's
4
enough
for 13,
analytics out there to build a narrative. I know you like red zone performance, Sean. I like third down conversions. It changes the game.
No, both are important. For sure.
That was big yesterday. That was just huge yesterday, the way we converted some third downs. And also, one more, the clutch pass to Slayton. The kid looked poised. He looked comfortable. He didn't look overwhelmed.
You mean the pass to Theo?
Listen, we can win this game on Sunday. Let's beat the Saints. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Glenn, appreciate it. I'm assuming he means the clutch pass to Theo.
Yeah, he must, because that was immensely important.
And by the way, Bo Collins at his Notre Dame Pro Day had a 4.52 40-yard dash. So, not slow. 4.52 is okay. But he did have a 38-inch vertical jump, which is excellent, and a 10-10 broad jump, which is also excellent.
Again, he qualifies.
Right.
He is a skyscraper. Yeah. I was thrilled to get him on the 53. Believe me, I thought it was awesome when he made it, but... I'm
just giving you the numbers, Paul. Just giving you the numbers.
I think for me, I'm more inclined to think he's a possession guy.
And he measured 6'3", 201 pounds at the combine.
Yeah. Look,
he was a big recruit to Clemson before he went to Notre Dame.
Oh,
he was a big-time
legit
recruit.
Player. I mean, look, remember something, folks. The Giants did put him on the initial 53. They didn't even take a chance of getting him to the practice squad.
Right. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if he has a chance to step up here. Or maybe it's going to be Jalen Hyatt. I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see and find out. All right, guys, I appreciate you being quick on the calls. I'm just trying to get in as many people as we can after a win. People are very excited. Jay in Philly's up next. Jay, what's going on?
Hey, fellas.
Yes.
Hey, fellas. How you doing now?
We're great. Hi.
Frustrated Bronx transplant down here, living in Philadelphia the last couple of years. I joined the Navy, and I stayed here when I got out.
Thank you for your service.
I just want to throw 3 questions to you. I know we're very busy today, and I would like to, if you could, to take it off the air.
No, absolutely. What do you got?
Questions, but my point of what number one, this defense is built to have the lead with this pass rush, and I think yesterday we saw a little bit of it. And if we can play with the lead, use scat as ball control, and let the defense eat. And that's what I'll say about that. You could comment on that.
Sure.
The second thing about Neighbors, terrible. Again, we don't want to go on it. We know it's devastating. But in Dart's development, could this be and I don't want to say it's a positive.
No.
But You know how young quarterbacks lock on a receiver? Could this teach him to spread the ball around?
Jay, here. Okay.
All
right. Point 3.
And then the third thing, and then you can guys answer it off.
Yes, sir.
I know it's very, very early for the draft, but I'm just saying linebacker, wide receiver, offensive line is secondary. And I'll leave it at that, gentlemen. It feels great to have a win on a Monday, to be able to watch ESPN. And that's all, guys. So, suffering Giant fan in Philly, it's terrible down here because they're obnoxious. And now that they're winners, oh, my God.
Anyway, I got you, Jay.
God bless you, brother.
Hey, you too, man. Appreciate it. Always good to talk to a guy from the Bronx. All right, I thought he made 3 good questions on the draft. Sure, those positions, I think those are ones you look at, and that's fine. It's actually a very good off-ball linebacker draft, for the record. Not a great wide receiver draft. And I'm trying to think what other positions you mentioned there, but not important. No, the Neighbors injury will not help Jackson Dart.
No.
Because what's going to eventually happen here, people, is teams are just going to play man-to-man defense against the Giants, and they're going to stack the box against the run, and they're going to blitz. And they're going to force Giants receivers to win one-on-one. And we've seen this before, Paul. And in the past, the Giants have had trouble winning in those situations. Now, Mike Kafka's back calling plays. Wanda Robinson's another year off the knee injury. Darius Slayton, we know he's a good player, and he did step up when Malik Neighbors got hurt last year for a couple of games.
He did.
And again, who knows about Hyatt, Bill Collins, the rest of the guys. Eventually, that's what teams are going to do. I don't know when it's going to start. It could start this week against the Saints. I don't know. And the Giants players are going to have to win one-on-one. And you want Jackson Dart to have somebody when a team plays man-to-man to say, you know what I'm going to? Every time I see man-to-man defense, that dude. And if you don't have that dude, it makes it a lot tougher.
Somebody is not going to be able to fill the shoes of Malik Neighbors, but somebody has to step up enough to prevent teams from suffocating this offense. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Now, back in 2022, Slayton had that late surge, and they picked up Isaiah Hodgins off waivers, and all of a sudden, Isaiah Hodgins became a legitimate part of this offense.
Oh, and who's the little slot guy from the 49ers?
James.
Richie James.
Richie James. Thank you.
Who caught 57 passes.
I remember he had a last name that was a first name, but I thought it was Charles. It was James. Thank you.
And he was the kick returner.
Correct.
And all of a sudden, guess what? You got to play some slot for us. I mean, they got production out of those 3 guys in the second half of the season that helped get them to the playoffs, although you'll remember their record was top-heavy in the first half of the year. They didn't win a ton of games in the second half of the season. But they did enough. They did enough to get them to the playoffs and to win a road playoff game in Minnesota. The point being, though, we don't know as we sit here right now, John, which one of these receivers is going to step up out of his current role and become more than he is expected to be.
That's going to be the story now moving forward.
That's it.
That's it. And the first point he made, defense built to have the lead. Absolutely. Paul and I have talked about that ad nauseum over the offseason. 100%. And again, give the defense credit. They helped build the lead by giving the ball to the offense in great field position to score. And, of course, scoring on that first drive for the Giants was huge, too, going right down the field and scoring there. And, again, Jackson Dart, Paul, do you remember how many passes he completed on that first drive for the touchdown?
Was it 2?
2.
Yeah.
2 completions, I believe, for 21 yards, if memory serves me, right?
Yeah.
They ran the ball Cam Scatterbo, and they ran the ball Jackson Dart. Love the tight end in the backfield with the running back in shotgun in this game. They went away from it a little bit as the game went along, but they did that a bunch in that first drive, and they had a lot of success running the football.
How about the quarterback draw on the touchdown? And Baldinger, ask Baldy about this when you get
Scatterbo blew up the linebacker.
Scatterbo played. That was your typical fullback lead out of an I formation, but done in a different way. Because it was the quarterback in the shotgun, Scatterbo did a little bit of an offset fullback spot, and then he just obliterates the middle linebacker, and Dart practically walks in. I mean, it was beautiful power football.
All right, let's go to, and then I have a couple more just random notes I want to give to you before we close. But let's get in 2 more calls here, Pearson, before we go. Let's go to Steve in Vegas. He's up next. Hey, Steve.
Hey, what's up, John? What's up, Paul?
What's up,
guys? Victory Monday, man. It feels good. Hey, just a couple things. First thing, I just want to make Jackson Dart huge spark plug. He's lifting his team. He's developing not only as a great quarterback, but as a leader, I think, in that locker room.
Yep, agreed.
Really looking forward to big things to come.
Show signs.
Thing I want to mention, obviously, I've heard about the Malik Neighbors. Terrible loss. You can't replace someone like out of his caliber. We understand that. Two things. I've heard OBJ is throwing his name out there. Deontay Johnson, I heard, is a free agent too. I don't know if he's
yeah, Steve. Unfortunately, Deontay Johnson has pretty much run himself out of 3 jobs in the last year. So you would have to do a lot of work on what happened with him at a couple of those spots.
Yeah.
But I think he's probably the most talented guy that you look at. But he's been cut from the last 3 teams. In fact, was it who's traded for him and then released him like 3 weeks later? Was it Pittsburgh? No.
I can't remember.
It was,
I think it's
the Ravens?
No, it might have been someone else. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
There was a team that traded for him, basically released him 3 weeks later. So he has been a little bit of a mess in the locker room for some of these teams.
You know, there's a personnel file thick on every single one of these players, some of which is not so great stuff, some of which is perfectly fine, but then you have to consider other reasons why they are on the street.
And I'll be honest, I'm not surprised. I should say I am surprised that it took until 121 for someone to bring up Odell Beckham Jr. In fact, Paul asked me before the show.
I did.
John, on what call do you think we're going to get the first Odell Beckham Jr. question?
You should see the YouTube comments.
Oh, is it all over the place? Yeah, I'm not surprised. I need to do a better job looking at those. But look, if you want to bring and Paul, we can apply this to all the veterans. Bring them in for a workout, see how they move, see how they run, and if you think they can help you, then you can bring them on. But, a lot of these guys are over 30, and you don't know how much juice they have left in the tank, especially if they've gone through a bunch of injuries.
Well, I think we got Jalen Hyatt. I mean, he's got to step up too. He's a great receiver. Came out of Tennessee. If we can get him moved around, I mean, and Wan'Dale Robinson, he had a big game against Dallas. I think he's going to step up, and obviously Slayton. So, and then the other thing I just want to bring up real quick. I know you guys are busy. The injury to Malik. I know it's a torn ACL. It takes about 9 to 12 months. Does that change a player after the injury when they come back, or do they usually come back up to speed? How does that affect a player's career, especially a young guy like Malik? But I'll take it off. I'll take the call off.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for the call.
You remember Dominic Hickson and Amani Toomer, 2 really terrific Giants receivers who have helped this franchise win Super Bowls? They had ACLs, multiple ACLs.
I will say.
So sometimes it's not terrible. Other times it can impact you.
It completely depends on the player and the situation. Is it a clean tear? Is there more damage in addition to the ACL? Is there meniscus damage in addition to the ACL? We're not going to know any of that. But whether or not it's a clean tear, if there's any other damage, that impacts it. Some guys come back great. Some guys don't come back great. Sometimes the surgery, like remember Odell Beckham Jr. had the surgery and they found out that it wasn't repaired to the extent you wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when he was with the Browns. It all depends on the player, the individual surgery. But we've seen in modern day, and I said this to Papa this morning when all the reports came out that it was confirmed to be that. I said, I'd much rather have that than it be like a patella tendon or something like that.
Oh, no question.
Because those can be really messy and those can be rough. So there's a long history of guys coming back being just as good after the ACL. And again, we don't know the details of the injury, but I think it is reasonable, Paul, to say that he could very well be on the field week 1 next year.
Oh, I think that's possible, but again, I don't know.
Well, again, I just said it's reasonable. I just said it's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't think there's anything crazy about saying that, but again, John, hammer this home 10 times over. Individual cases vary. There's no way to tell how this will impact him long term.
No, it's different for everybody. All we can do is guess. That's all we can do, and that doesn't really help anybody guessing. And it was the Ravens. So the Steelers traded him to the Panthers. Then the Panthers traded him to the Ravens. He got suspended for 1 game due to contact detrimental for the team because he refused to enter. I forgot about this. Remember he refused to go into the game for the Ravens in
Yes,
week 13,
I do remember that.
And then he got cut.
Okay.
So, you got to do work on all these guys. Is my point.
For sure,
100%. He got claimed by the Texans, then he got waived by them. He went back to the Ravens. He got claimed again. Then he got claimed by the Browns. Then he was released in final roster cut. So he's kind of been all over the place a little bit. All right, final call of the show. Let's go to Marcus in Tennessee. Marcus, what's going on? A lot of new names today. I like that. Marcus, what's up?
What's going on? Go Big Blue.
That's right, baby.
Man, Victory Monday feels great.
Absolutely, Marcus. Do me a favor. Turn your speaker down, and you can listen to us through the phone, okay?
Okay, I actually had you on my TV, so hold on.
Oh, okay. No worries. So if you can mute the TV, that'd be great.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's a little faster than the phone's a little faster than what's actually on the TV.
Exactly right.
Yes, sir.
I want to say bring Turbo Miller out of practice squad, man. He's the dude that we need to help. We need to help Cam out, man. He's good, but we need Turbo.
Singletary ran the ball well in this game, I thought.
did.
I thought Singletary had a nice game.
He did.
For once, he did, yes, for once. But I don't know. I just think Turbo's got it locked in the box better than Singletary.
All right, you got anything else for us, Marcus?
No, that's it, man. But loving this Victory Monday. It's great.
All right, appreciate it, Marcus. All right, Paul, I will let you as the resident, captain of the Dante Turbo Miller fan club. I'll let you give your Turbo Miller spiel here.
I will only say this about Turbo. He's a totally different style of back than the other two guys.
Oh, totally different.
Totally different.
Yep.
So if you've got some sections in your playbook that you want to run this week, then you should make him a practice squad activation. They obviously didn't feel that way in this game against the Chargers because they figured it would be a pound it, grind it out kind of game. As we found out, he would not have been a great fit necessarily for this game plan.
Correct.
Now, the other thing you can do with Turbo is you could also use him in kickoff return.
You can. Deontay Banks was back there in this game. I had one nice return, actually, too.
He did. And Singletary did,
he was
okay,
fine.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you wanted Miller up and you decided in the backfield you needed a little bit of relief or a change-up or there was something in the playbook you wanted to use against the Saints, you could bring him up and then, again, give him a couple of kickoff returns, too.
All right, a couple other quick notes, Paul, before we say goodbye.
Go ahead.
We have to be at 1:30 sharp today.
Yep.
Pearson's got to eat lunch. It's very important.
Of course.
I love giving him crap. Especially as the Yankees are playing the Red Sox, by the way. You're going to get no mercy this week, Pearson. Just be ready for that. Darius Alexander had a nice pressure early in this game, getting into the backfield. I thought Drew Phillips played a really good game. He had an excellent coverage on McConkey on that little flag route where he knocked the ball away. I thought Tyler Nubin played a lot better, made a couple of tackles. I thought he had a pretty good game.
Took a bad angle on the Hampton touchdown.
Honestly, I looked at it again. I don't think he did. I just think he was too far away, and Hampton's a lot faster than he is.
The speed of Hampton, in person.
Remember, Nubin was, what was he, a 4.6 guy? And you know what Hampton is, right?
In person?
4.43.
No, in person, he's faster.
Oh, it's not just in person. It's on a person, on tape, on the stopwatch. He's faster in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So I'm not, and he was starting on the other side of the field, on the other hash on that play. I'm not sure if there was an angle he could have taken to cut him off, but I understand your point.
Would have been tough.
I understand your point, though.
And once Hampton got going, he wasn't going to catch him.
Yeah, and the combination of Muasau and Okereke could have done a better job of filling that hole on the double pull.
Well, Muasau got blocked really well, and Okereke, by the time he got around, it was too late.
Yeah, and Muasau, I thought maybe could have. He kind of went on the.
He could have pushed.
He went on the inside shoulder of the block, or if you could have tried to engage him on the outside shoulder, maybe squeezed it a little bit. But again, we don't know whose fault it is. But and then the receiver blocked. I think was it Debo on that side on that play too. So
yes, it was.
All three of those guys at the point of attack.
It was a great play by the Chargers.
I thought we saw Kayvon Thibodeau, a defensive tackle, a lot more than we've seen ever in a game.
Surprised the heck out of me.
And they ran him a lot on those twists, trying to free up Burns and
pretty
Carter.
good,
And it worked extremely well.
It did.
Like I mentioned, they used a lot of twists and stunts with both Carter and Burns to try to free him up. I thought Dane Belton had a little bit of a rough game. He missed a tackle on Hampton on the sideline, and he did not get over the top on that deep play that beat Banks on the double move.
Yeah.
He needs to get over there on that, and he did not get over there on time.
The shame of it is, and I think Banks probably thought he was supposed to be back there, but at the same time, the stutter and go left Banks in his tracks.
And in that situation, with the time on the clock,
can't do it.
You can't be that.
Can't
now,
do it.
Unless the play is that Belton's over the top on you, and you're supposed to be aggressive on that short route. I don't know that to be the case, but those two guys have to do better on that play.
Yes,
especially in that situation. At
Both
the
of
end
them have
half.
to do better, but Banks even more so.
100%. Those are the main things I had. The Giants overall had a 56% pass rush win rate, which is astronomical. That is astronomically high. If your players combined for a 56% win rate, that is a crazy number. They had the ninth best pressure rate this week, almost 44%. Did not blitz a ton, which I liked. You have these great pass rushers. You shouldn't have to blitz to generate pressure. You've had trouble in the back end. Flood those zones with people. Get home with 4 a little bit more. So I like that adjustment by Shane Bowen in this game. They played a ton of man, third most cover one in the league this year. This week, I should say. So those are my major notes coming out of the game. And look, it's a good win, Paul, and I'm happy to be here on Monday talking about a victory for once.
Can I second and third that? How about we try to fourth that and see what they can do against the Saints next Sunday?
Yeah, so we have Cross and Lance Meadow tomorrow on Big Blue Kickoff Live. Come in, check them out. A couple, not different voices. Lance is on often, but we haven't had Howard on the show in a while. So you can get Howard's take on what's going on. And I wish I could say you could call up and give him crap about Alabama, but they beat Georgia this week, so you're not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. By the way, great weekend in college football. Draft season will come up with Tony Pauline tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Brian Boldinger and the Giants huddle later on today. Stay tuned for that. That's Big Blue Kickoff Live, presented by Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the Giants. We came to you live from our podcast studio, presented by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. For Paul Dottino, I am John Schmeelk. All of our content, Giants YouTube channel, Giants TV, which you can find on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, all your smart TVs. Check out our content there, and of course on the Giants YouTube channel. For Paul Dottino, for a very hungry Pearson Butler, I am John Schmeelk. Go Yankees. Hate the Sox. We'll see you tomorrow.